Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Nick with EDC Mag, and today I want to talk about a knife from Elishewitz. Before we get too far down that rabbit hole, I want to show you guys this real quick. Now, I grabbed this early on in one of my reviews, just briefly, and I wanted to delve a little bit further into it. It is a flashlight, an EDC pocket flashlight from Custom Knife Factory, CKF. Now this particular light is called the Rama Raz. Now they make two models of this. They make a Rama Raz and a Rama Diva, which is spelled D-V-A. And basically the difference between the two is this design feature right here. It's something different on the other one. I went with this one just because, I don't know, I like holes. I like holes in things. I like holes in my knives. I wanted to kind of dip my toe into the high-end flashlight market without really fully committing to it. And I found this. I've had several CKF knives. I did the Crowcar was the very first knife I reviewed on my channel. I did this one from Peter Recenti a while back. I've had several others. CKF makes some really cool knives. They partner with different makers, and they made the Decepticon series. They just make some really beautiful stuff. And they came out with a flashlight, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Now these things are about $390 from Custom Knife Factory website or from Russia with Knives website. Either way, you know, it's going to take a couple weeks to get from Russia, but if you like the way these look, they're titanium. There were a couple of things that appealed to me about this, and again, I am not a flashlight guru. I'm not really down that rabbit hole all the way, so I'm not going to get too deep. And these are, you know, limited but still production knives, torches. So, you know, you can get these specs online, but this is all titanium. It's got an inner titanium anodized barrel on it. It's got a single LED, but one of the things about these were it was an XPL LED, which basically completely ups the performance, but it fits in the same space as a normal LED. Same weight, same space, same cost, much better performance. This one has four modes. So, you know, low, medium, high, and then it's got an SOS, and there are a few other things you can do with it. To be honest, I haven't developed the level of interest that a lot of these guys have for these. So, you know, when I get one, I put the battery in it and I turn it on and click the button a few times to figure out kind of to get it where I need it to go. And that's pretty much good enough for me. But it's a tail switch, and it does get bright. This thing, that's one of the reasons I went after it as well. It goes up to 1150 lumens, so it does get really bright. It's also bigger than most of my other EDC flashlights that I normally carry, and I actually kind of like that because I like the fact that, I mean, this thing's 5 inches long. It feels good in hand. You know, if your hands are wet or slippery, this thing does have O-rings. It is water resistant. It's not waterproof, but you know, for whatever the case may be, it feels good in your hand. You're not going to drop it. You're not going to lose it in any type of, you know, high pressure situation or whatever the case may be. But it's a nice flashlight, and if you want to kind of get into the market on these things and have something unique and different without going, you know, $800-900 on a full-blown custom, These things are a cool option. You don't hardly ever see them out there, so they're unique. Again, you can find all the specs on this online. There are still some available. I think there was a limited run, but as of today, they are still available. They run about $390, which is probably less than half of what you spend on a full-blown handmade custom torch. So, Custom Knife Factory, CKF Rama Raz. Check them out. All right, let's talk about this Elishewitz. This is the Elishewitz White Swan. It's absolutely stunning knife, just absolutely amazing. His designs, first of all, he's been around. He's been making knives since the late 80s. He was designing knives for himself in high school and having others make them. He got to college and decided he'd start making his own. The guy was he's a Texas boy. He's from Texas, so he's a good old boy from Texas. He was a recon Marine, and he's lived all over the planet and studied martial arts from many different countries. So the guy is a genuine official badass. One of the places he studied martial arts was Okinawa. I personally studied martial arts. The art I studied was Okinawan, and that's some lethal stuff. So the guy's coming in with his knife designs from a place of experience, and to me that says a lot about designs. This particular knife, a while back I reviewed some Hogue knives, the Hogue X5s. There were two designs within the X5 model. Both were Elishewitz designs. One of them was very similar to this blade shape and this design, and it's just a stunning knife. If you get a chance, you can go back through my videos and find those reviews. But he's been around a long time, and he's done a lot of collaborations, not only with other makers, but with manufacturers as well for production knives. So his name is out there. He's very well known. He's done some watches, some pens as well, but obviously most well known for his knives. This particular knife is a 3.5-inch blade. It's kind of got that harpoon shape, which I've grown to love here recently. It's really started growing on me more and more. It's an RWL 34 blade, and I've had quite a few of these, and again, this is something that I'm really starting to appreciate a lot as well, this RWL steel. Man, you can just put a that's sharp. You can put a shaving sharp edge on these things, and it'll hold it. It's just an amazing, powdered steel, but phenomenal for a wicked edge. It has titanium bolsters on both sides. It is a liner lock. Has the titanium clip, which you start getting into these roller clips and they will ruin you for anything else. Once you stick one of those in your pocket, you just don't want to go back to a regular clip. Those things are just super nice. He's got his proprietary hardware, which I love. It's just really neat, really unique to him. This particular design does not have a lanyard hole, so you lanyard guys, you're shit out of luck. I don't really care, it doesn't bother me. It's on washers, not bearings, brass washers. One of the neat things he's done in this knife is added he drilled and tapped into the flipper tab and added a little button with his insignia in it. Kind of just a neat little added design feature there. stunning. Ironwood scales. The liners are titanium. They're drilled out. You're not going to be able to see in this, but they are drilled out for weight reduction. Anodized purple just really kind of sets the whole mood of the knife, just kind of sets it off a little bit. Gives it a little bit of color without being, really out there and crazy. This knife, it's just very subdued. It's kind of a subdued violence to it. It looks like it was formed in a wind tunnel. His designs are very organic. The way they're swept and the curves are very sexy. I want to say organic, but by that I mean they just look like they've been shaped by wind and rain over hundreds of years. They're just so sleek. And this knife in particular is a 3.5 inch blade, so it's a little bit small for me. When I grab it, my hand in the back is extending over the back end a little bit more than I like. Now that's just my personal preference. So again, we got a 3.5 inch blade here. Let's see what this thing weighs. I've seen guys here recently that are kind of looking for washer only knives. They of course, you got guys that prefer everything. That's part of what makes this so great, this hobby. But they don't want bearings, they want only washers. I don't guess I really have a favorite, but I would still say that to me probably bearings are still my favorite. But washers or bearings, either one, they've got a unique feel. They both can fire mad hard, mad fast. Just different mechanisms, so they're going to have a different feel. Let's see what this thing weighs. A little under 6.5 ounces. So that's about right. There's nothing really, obtrusive on this knife. Everything is kind of exactly as it should be. This backspacer is Damascus. It's kind of hard to tell. But, there's just nothing on this knife that, screams, look at me, look at me. I think if you were to pull this thing out in public, you might scare the children, but not the women. I don't know. It's just very understated, elegant, and there's nothing classy about me, but I know it when I see it, and this thing is just a very classy blade. It's something you could carry and know that you had something very high quality that was handmade, but yet at the same time isn't gonna scream for attention every time you take it out of your pocket. It's just an understated elegance that I've kind of been searching these knives out, just because most of the stuff that I have is always so big and loud and obtrusive and wants to jump up and kill you the second it sees you. And so I've been playing in this realm a little bit, just experiencing these a little more. And most of these, I don't know if you'd call this a gentleman's folder. I would, but everybody has a little bit different classification for that. For me, this would be a gentleman's folder, just because it looks so classy, and man, it's just a gorgeous knife. Just very streamlined, very sleek. And I don't know about sleek, but it just, it looks like you could put it in a wind tunnel and it, beat a Ferrari. Just flawless knife. Just absolutely stunning knife. They're, these things, if you want to get into an Elishewitz, you can get into an Elishewitz for, heck, there's some right now on Arizona Custom Knives for $350. Different, he's got a ton of different styles, but you can get into a custom at a reasonable price. And they go up to, I saw one of these that was just decked out in some really exclusive extreme materials, and it was, almost $4,000. So as with any custom knife, depending on the materials and the style and what you want, there's the sky's the limit as far as what you want to spend. This one sits at a little over $1,000, I think, new. It's obviously not brand new, so it's not quite at that price now, but for someone that wants to carry something really nice, to have that protection, to have the elegance, and keep it understated but still be quality, man, this is your knife. This thing is just absolutely beautiful. I love his proprietary hardware. I mean, this knife will get the job done. That's for sure. No jimping on it, so it doesn't look, I mean, you could probably have jimping on it. You don't really need jimping on it because, well, I mean, it just wouldn't fit this knife. It's just too sleek, too elegant. You don't put mud flaps on your Porsche. But man, what a beautiful knife. It's just, the flow is, and the Hogues that he designed, the X5, it's very similar, and just the flow is just, man, it's just awesome, just sexy. Just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Comes in a simple little pouch, very nice, with the Elishewitz patch on it. Elishewitz Custom Knives. Beautiful knives. If you get a chance to get one of his knives, like I said, they're in every price range. You can get them, gosh, you can get them pretty much whatever you want to spend, and everyone knows the Elishewitz name, and if not from his customs, just even from his production work. Stunning knives, absolutely stunning. This thing is just gorgeous. The action on it, I mean, you can definitely tell that it's washers, not bearings, but it still fires just as hard as a bearing knife would. No issues. Well, there you go, guys. If you get a chance to you want to get into a flashlight without dropping $1,000, something unique and different that still gives you 1,000 lumen on an 18650 battery, check out CKF, or check out From Russia with Knives, the Rama Raz and the Rama Diva. This is the Raz. And check out Alan Elishewitz. He's just got a ton of different designs and styles. Some of them are a lot more crazy than this one. Some of them are understated and sleek. But, there's something for everyone out there. He really, he made a comment that if two Elishewitz collectors get together or run into each other and compare knives, he doesn't want anybody to have the same knife as anyone else. So there's a lot of uniqueness to what he does, and that's intentional. Well, that's it, guys. Hey, this is Nick with EDC Mag. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We've got a lot more coming up. We're having a lot of fun, and we're just going to keep on trucking. So until next time, have a great day.